Well, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. This is the third day of spring. Never would know it. It's about 48 degrees here right now. It's only supposed to be about 49. But the sun is going to be shining for, well, this afternoon it's supposed to get cloudy. We got about, I think 10 to 15 mile an hour wind gusts. So it gets a little chillier when that happens. So I'm going to try to get out here and get some stuff done. I'm bound and determined to split time on all the jobs I got to do. Go with either how much time I've got to do it for that day, or of course the weather. So right now we have done a lot of talking about our garden system, and last year we didn't. This is the garden area. If you've ever been to the channel before, this was our garden area. But last year, we pretty much just used buckets up behind the house, and it worked really good. We had like some peppers, tomatoes, of course, a few potatoes, just different small things. But we may expand more, but we've decided, I asked Robin about just doing a raised garden bed, and she liked that idea a whole lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a raised garden bed system down here. Pretty much we used buckets and totes last year. May do some buckets again this year. The tomatoes seem to work really good for the tomato plants, but also had some totes. So I'm going to make some raised frames just to set the totes and buckets in to keep them off the ground. And then, not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to create a wire system for fencing to go around it to keep deer and rabbit. Rabbits shouldn't be much of a problem because they're going to be raised off the ground. The rabbits really didn't bother us last year just by using the buckets. But the deer and coons and stuff would be a different story. But I want to try doing that instead of repairing all this fence. But you still may repair the fence just because we think it looks cool. But we were going to have to try to create a wire system and all that. That's a whole lot more. And I'm thinking, I haven't got this far into the thinking process, planning process. I'm kind of thinking, let me see, maybe six raised, but we could always do more. I mean, you know, and eventually we're going to have probably either an 8x8 or probably an 8x10 or 8x8 greenhouse centered in this whole area. So I'm going to lay that out eventually, so we don't, because I don't really want to put the raised bed frames in the ground. I just want to, if I can keep from it. If I have to, I have to, but I don't want to. But what we're going to try to do in this video, as you can see, the grass, if you can catch it, the grass is already starting to come up. Now I've got some videos from last summer where we didn't even mess with this last year, so it got overgrown. I mean, it was this tall, if not more. I cut it down one time towards the end of the summer, I think, I'm not sure. And it actually started growing, it grew back, but it wasn't as tall before the winter hit. But some of this is remnants from it. This right here, which I'm going to take some of this and put it in the chicken run we got in the back. So what I'm going to do today is I want to get rid of this grass. So I'm going to bring my tractor up here with the box blade, and I'm going to try. We don't have a rototiller, believe it or not. We don't have one of those yet. Those things are expensive. I can almost buy an attachment for my tractor for the price of what they want want for a rototiller. We bought one last year, sitting right over here at the side, or Robin bought one off an old guy, but it's pretty much beyond. It needs to be taken to the graveyard. Probably could fix it, but it's not going to be operable for Robin to use. And with the raised beds we're getting ready to do, we don't even need it, because what I'm planning on doing is getting this leveled out as much as I can. I don't know if you can tell it, but it's pretty rough terrain from where we just had the garden and we dig stuff up. I'll try to get this leveled out, get as much grass out as I can. I'm not going to be able to get around to where the little fencing was, which I may end up taking that down anyway. I'll have to do that with a rototiller and just a pick or something to get that grass out. But after I get that done, I want to try to get plastic down so the grass doesn't grow back. All this is not going to happen today. I'm just going to try to get all the grass, try to get it to install dirt today is what I'm going to try to do. I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to see. But eventually have plastic down, and then we've got a mulcher. It'll be a lot of mulch. If it doesn't work, we'll just have to buy some, but we've got all kinds of branches here that are the right size. We got a big pile down there. I'm gonna bring my mulcher up here and just start making our own mulch to lay down on top of here, and then put our raised beds on top of that. So, but like I said, today what I want to accomplish is just getting this cleared out, because this is starting to grow, and this ground here has topsoil in it. And Robin went to a local farm who was giving away it was manure and dirt and everything mixed together. It was free. She just had to haul it herself. So she brought that in and we spread that out. So this ground, that's been a couple years ago, so maybe all that nutrients is kind of dissipating away. But you can see the grass is already growing and sprouting up, and I'll come home from work one day and all of a sudden it'll be like that. So I want to try to keep that under control, because we won't enjoy the raised garden bed if we got 2 foot tall grass and weeds to go through. So that's what we're going to do. So let me get started and see how much I can get done today. Okay, let me show you what's been going on so far. It's actually going, I think it's going well. Whether it is or not, to your all's eyes, I'm not sure. But already you can see it's better than that terrain right there. It's not where I want it yet. But the box blade and the scarabs it's still not out of the question. But basically what happened was, when I started over here, dropped it down within 5 foot, where the ground is so soft. It's kind of turning more muddy now that I'm turning it up. But it got clogged up with dirt within 5 foot, and I really saw right away that it was going to take I wouldn't be as far as I am right now if I'd have done it like that. I could go ahead and still raise the scarabs up and just use the box blade itself, because the dirt is pretty soft. But I'm going to wait until I have this skimmed out. And what I plan on doing was all the dirt that I'm piling up, once I kind of is satisfied with get out of the sun, or point the camera towards the sun, that's not good. Once I get the all the grass off and get the dirt as level as I can get it, then I may go back with the box blade and kind of do that. But really, the bucket is working a whole lot better. I don't even know if the box blade is gonna be good for this situation. The other thing I'm fighting is the space. You know, my tractor takes up a lot of space. So my plan was just to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on half of it, turn around, do the other half. But the terrain is so rough, up and down. I hope the video showed that. Maybe I'll put the camera up here on the tractor so maybe you get a better idea. But it's going up and down so much that I'm having to constantly try to raise my loader bucket up and down. That's why it is dug in so deep in places. But that's not going to be too bad once I start getting to where I want it, because then I can just go back and back drag this dirt on there, and then I'll probably just have to go back with a rake and get the weeds out. Whether that's all going to happen today, I don't know. That's a lot of work. And it is a chance of rain tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll get to any of it tomorrow or not. So all right, I'm gonna drink me a little bit of coffee and then I'm gonna get back at it. But I still, all in all, I think it's going pretty good. I've got 3/4 of it almost cleared off. I've got some spots like right here I got to go back with it. That's no big deal. But the main thing is, once I get all the grass off and I get to where the tractors, right now it's starting to get to where it's smoother in these places where I'm taking the grass off and getting some of the dirt off and getting it a little bit more level. But it's really dipping down bad right here. It was already dipping down. So what happened was, when I started going down this way, it just dug in before I could think about it. You know, I know it's hard to tell, but I'm not a professional backhoe driver. So we're going to do the best we can and have fun doing it. That's all you can do. All right, my camera, I forgot to turn my camera on a minute ago. I've got a little bit more done. I'm getting ready to, I'm going to go ahead and hit this next, because it's got some deep divots in it. Smooth it out, then I'll finish up with that. And then I will look at getting it all smoothed out. I don't think I'm going to be able to put plastic on it today because it's so windy. I'll just be fighting a losing battle. Maybe if Robin has time. We're not using, the only plastic we've got is this 6mm plastic that she hung up in there this past winter when doing her concrete work, trying to keep it from getting too cold in there. But we don't need it anymore. So that's what we're going to put on here for now. And then I'll probably get some of that landscape plastic where water will still go down through it later on. But just getting it cleared off like this is going to help out, because it'll be easier to maintain until I can get the plastic on it. But we're coming along good. I don't know, I'm having problems being able to do what I want, because I can only go really about halfway. Like if I'm coming back this way, I can only go halfway, because then my box blade is hitting this. So then I tried to turn around and do the same thing, and I hit my dirt pile. I mean, it's so. And then if I go this way, that way, I'm hitting that when I get to a certain point. I mean, I've got it looking a whole lot better. But it's not near what I want it. So, I mean, this is right here. I still got to work it. I can't just leave that like that. That down there is looking pretty good. That is whatever. So, and it's really too much to just do a rake. I mean, this is like clay now. There's a bunch of topsoil in here, but there's also clay in here, obviously. So I've got a little bit done. Well, good morning. We've or I've got it to where I'm pretty much satisfied with it. I can sit here and work it from now till the end of the day if I wanted to, but it's fine. It's a lot better than it was when I was driving a tractor over it, because the tractor was just recreating ruts because the ground is soft enough. It's good enough to walk on, but the tractor was creating ruts and the dirt was not dry, so it was just wanting to just clog up and in the balls and stuff. So I've got it looking the way I want it. I think I'm kind of thinking on the fly doing this. Around the edges, I think I'm going to leave an area and maybe put some flowers in. I don't know if we want to put some a flowering bush or two in for the bees, for the birds to have food to eat. This dirt over here, I'm going to save it for now, because once I get the raised beds going, I'll use some of that dirt to put in there, because it's going to require quite a bit. The dirt that's up there now, it's already the ones that's left have dirt in them. So I'm going to put the 6 mil plastic on here. I don't have any what I want is the landscape. I want the landscape netting, that way water will soak down through it. You know, 6 mil plastic, the water will just lay on it. So, and then after I get the plastic down, eventually we'll be making mulch. That'll be fun. It's going to be a lot though. We'll see how much we can get. I've got plenty of wood, but you can only put up to, I think it was 2-inch branches, about the big as you're supposed to put in that thing. So we'll see what all we can get done with that. If I have to buy some mulch, I will. But so I'm gonna go get the plastic now and see how much of an area I'm going to be able to cover. We've been having a lot of strong winds here lately. So I still got to get a lot of plastic, but that's kind of what the area will be. Our greenhouse, it's not going to be real big, 8 by 10, 10 by 10, or 8 by 8, something like that. It'll be in the center, come from the back out, and then our raised beds we will place around it. Probably 4 to 6 sections eventually. and they'll be up high enough to where squirrels and, well, not squirrels, but the rabbits, squirrels don't bother them a whole lot that I've seen. The deer's a different question. So like I mentioned earlier, we'll be coming up with a system, a wire fence system that it will be removable on one side anyway, to where we can weed and get our harvest, our whatever it is we're getting that day. So all right, I'm gonna go in here and look for some more plastic, but that's, you pretty much get the idea of what's going to be. Like I said, this plastic here is just temporary. I almost, if I could find one more piece like that. We've got some tarps in there, but that'll let sunlight through. So all right, thank you for watching, and looking forward to giving you more updates on this as we go. I'm going to be jumping back on the shower soon, but I definitely want to get at least the plastic down here for now and in the ground with the landscape spikes. That way it won't blow around, and then after that put the mulch on it. So like I said, the greenhouse is not going to be this year, but I could even put raised beds over there where I want it, but I'm going to go ahead and lay out for it and kind of plan around it. That way I can go ahead and get used to having my raised beds where they're going to be in each area. I mean, we could rotate them around. The sun usually comes up. If the sun was out right now, it would just be peeking over the trees. If the foliage was on. So, and it's what time is it? We've always had pretty good luck here, especially with tomatoes. It's 11 o'clock. So I think it's like 10:30 during the summer is when the sun is fully on this area, and it kind of shades a little bit at times for 20-30 minutes at a time, but it's pretty much out until about, I'd say, 2 hours before sundown is when it goes behind those trees over there. All right, again, thanks. I really appreciate y'all watching. So we look forward to having you back. Hopefully you look forward to being back, and we'll see you next time. God bless.